You know, he talked about gaslighting. He thinks someone's trying to purposely distort his reality. You know, he might have Capgras syndrome. It's a delusional disorder in which one believes that their friends and loved ones have been replaced by imposters. Basically, the neural connection between the visual cortex and the emotional center of the brain becomes severed. Looking at a loved one doesn't elicit the same emotional response one would expect. And the interesting thing is that the auditory connection remains intact, so that if they were to hear a loved one speak and not see them, they'd think that they were real. It's unknown in 60% of the cases, but the rest have an organic cause, such as tumor or head trauma. This unsub doesn't feel pain. There's a medical condition called pain asympholia, where patients register harmful stimuli without being bothered by it. They've been documented holding their hand over an open flame because their brain doesn't send pain signals to the central nervous system. The only way the human body could withstand that level of pain is if he couldn't feel it at all.
Probably lives in or near the forest.
Unfortunately, Angeles National Forest is 1,016 square miles of terrain ranging in elevation from 1,200 and 10,064 feet. All right, the first victim was found missing his right leg, the second both arms, and the third had no torso. So that leaves the left leg and the head unaccounted for. We can assume the head would be the most difficult piece to find. And what that tells us is there's a victim out there we haven't found yet who's missing his left leg. Most body part collectors evolve to this level, and in many cases they exhume bodies for parts before they start killing. Garcia, can you look for grave robberies in Tornado Alley over the last 5 years? Try looking for thefts involving body parts, specifically left legs.
Spencer, you scare me.
Join the club.
A left leg was stolen off a body a year ago at the Reggio Funeral Home in Tulsa. They never found who did it.
Whatever it is, this unsub won't stop until he finds a perfect head. It's the final piece to his puzzle. It's Frankenstein. The unsub isn't just trying to put his brother back together, he's trying to bring him back from the dead. He believes that tornadoes have the power to take life, so conversely, they should have the power to restore it. Older buildings like this emit a low enough frequency that you can't consciously hear. Because the sensory overload can't be explained, it wreaks havoc with your emotions, inducing fear, panic, and dread, hence the feeling of being haunted. Your eyes overcompensate for what your ears are missing. Wait a minute, that's it. The real code is in the words. China Weekly Post, page F4.
How smart would a person have to be to write code like that?
Beyond smart, profoundly gifted, an IQ of at least 160. See, F4 is a chess square. Murder locations correspond with the final 3 moves of the game. He does oxycodone to drug his unwilling partners, but he does so without killing them, which means he's knowledgeable about dosages. Atlanta's crime rate has skyrocketed over the past few years, especially the proliferation of solicited sex and drug use in the downtown district. The submissive follows the rules, knows the dominant's type, obtains the victims and disposes of the body once the dominant has completed his killing ritual. You know what's funny? If she wasn't so pretty, she probably would have never been released in the first place. It's true, unattractive female predators serve a longer prison sentence than their attractive counterparts. It's primal. There's a hierarchy to everything, including sex offenders. Guys, I think these numbers are dates. If you reverse them and chop off the 11 at the beginning and end, it's more than that though. Look, March 1st is St. Icatot Day. March 21st is the spring equinox, and the 24th is the Feast of the Beast, all important holidays in the satanic calendar for sacrifices. If someone's carrying on in Catherine's mission, then it's quite possible they both suffered from folie à deux, a shared psychotic disorder between 2 people who are extremely close, and that would mean that's most likely a family member. Sadomasochistic role-play scenario, a game essentially in which a cabal of men tell their submissives they can trade their slaves at their whim. If you displease your master or try to escape, the company will find you, kill you, and kill your family. Technically it could, but Arizona has the lowest abduction rate in the country, so the chances of these cases not being related are ridiculously slim. The psychotherapeutic benefits of dreams, purging unpleasant images and replacing them with good ones.
Sorry, what's a signature?
It's a rare combination of MO and ritual that allows us to link cases over time and geographic distances.
I'm sorry, but what exactly was he doing with the organs he was removing?
We didn't know. It could have been some sort of fetish. Russian serial killer Andrei Chikatilo actually ate the uterus of one of his victims.
Oh my God, ew.
We thought it might have been symbolic of his own silence. He was raised to believe he was worthless and unwanted, so essentially he never had his own voice. She's following the electrical lines. Gas mains, oh no. It might explain how the unsub is drugging these women. The media's done a very good job of warning people to watch their drinks so that bars are no longer fertile hunting ground, but cigarette smokers aren't as careful. They might ask to have a cigarette from a stranger or have their pack swapped out of their purse when they put it down and then unknowingly inhale PCP or scopolamine, both of which mimic the effects of date rape drugs. You know, considering the survivors lose consciousness during the rape, he most likely plays the songs repeatedly during the assault, resulting in a Pavlovian response when they hear it later, sort of a subconscious rape trigger. So our hormonal surges as teenagers may make the choices seem more personal and passionate, and later on in life we might experiment with other musical selections, but no music ever impacts us as much as that which we listen to at age 14. According to the ME report, each of the victims was missing their genitals. Maybe. Jeffrey Dahmer used to keep his victims' sex organs on display. What if this unsub is doing the same thing? Based on the parasites in the most recent kill, the unsub killed as recently as a month ago, which means he's still active.
How did you establish the timeline so quickly?
By reverse engineering Mother Nature. Each year, sand and sediment cover up the remains, creating layers on the ocean floor. This is in 9 years means that he's in control of his urges.
Any sense of the victimology?
Only that he likes variety. Pelvic bone width indicates that he kills both men and women, and skull structure says he crosses racial lines as well. I found a unique evolution, actually. The earliest victims appear to be high risk. These lesions are consistent with syphilis, most likely a prostitute. This one has severely ground and missing teeth, commonly seen in excessive methamphetamine abuse, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a sea change, healthier and stronger victims all the way through to number 12.
Lower risk, harder for him to hunt. What do we know about the first victim?
That one's tough. He or she has been in the water so long, they're mostly bone fragments. I can attempt to reconstruct.
You've got 3 hours.
I can do it in 2.
Make it 1.
First victim, the more I work on the skeleton, the more I question its condition. The ocean floor preserved the other remains remarkably well. I think something else caused this. And look at this. This bone has a defensive wound in it, like he held it up before the blow came down. I think the bone smashing occurred while the victim was still alive.
Overkill.
He worked out a lot of aggression on this victim. He didn't do that with the others. That would indicate a personal relationship.
Bother?
That'd be my guess, and not a good one based on the low calcium levels consistent with alcoholism. I know to find him. Irrational number known as phi, based on the ratio of line segments to each other and to the whole. It's called the golden ratio. It's a ratio found all through life. In fact, many people that we find conventionally attractive are proportioned based on that ratio. The whole concept is represented by this pendant, including the logarithmic spiral created by using a Fibonacci sequence. 11235 is a Fibonacci series. Geometrically, it can be expressed as a spiral. It's called a logarithmic spiral. The pendant is like a key. Chester, Virginia. We took a city map of Chester. The location where Kaylee and the children are being held will fall on one of these points on that map as well. The ratio works with any scale at all. Foyette likes things to have meaning to him.
You see something, Reid?
Not yet.
Reid, he named himself the Reaper.
Peter Ray.
There's a Peter Ray in Arlington.
He said something on that call that tells Hotch where to go.
Reid, what did he say exactly?
Haley's hair looks good dark. She's lost some weight. Must be because of all the stress you caused her. Where's the little man? Oh, there he is now. You think he likes Captain America because of you? That's your wife in the other line. Hold, please. Hi, open the gate and I'll drive in.
Open the gate?
Don't forget to subscribe, follow, like and comments for updates.